Hello, welcome to my live stream on YouTube. Today is Wednesday, the 7th of January, and it's just past 6. It's 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. GMT. I'm going to be here maybe for a couple of hours, depending on whether or not there are people around wanting to ask me questions about themselves. And so for those who are new, I'm a therapist and coach, and I do my best to come here a couple of times a week to give advice, recommendations, suggestions, talk about anything to do with mental health, therapy, psychology, human behavior, emotional intelligence, mindset, mindfulness, all of those things. So if you have any questions, just ask me, and this is what I do. There's no one just yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the live, as I always do, by reading and commenting on some of my own posts. And hopefully at some point there will be some attendance and some conversations started with you guys. I'm looking for a post to read. Okay, let's try this one. Whenever you are shaming yourself, your nervous system feels under attack from yourself. So what we want to realize is that whenever we are entertaining a negative self-talk, we are literally creating a mental environment that is negative to us. Our mental environment is the space where we think. And so if you have negative thoughts, if we tell ourselves, what's wrong with you? Why am I always doing this? Why am I so useless? We are constantly attacking on our own selves. And the nervous system doesn't know the difference between what we entertain in our mind, whether it's real or imagined or remembered. And so whatever we entertain in our mind, we get our nervous system to react to it. And so if we are talking to ourselves in a very unkind, cruel way, it will feel belittled, and it will tense, and it will actually suffer from our own negative self-talk. And so shame is very important to learn how to let go of. Shame is the number one culprit of a self-negative talk. Another one goes like this. Inherited trauma often shows up in the body as overactive immune response, not just anxiety. And so this is how a lot of things that happen to us at a mental and emotional level in childhood are going to develop in our body in terms of physical, very physiological responses. And something that we have found out, a lot of researchers have demonstrated that, is that a lot of trauma often develops into some autoimmune disease, overactive immune response. Next one, still about the nervous system. Trauma lied to you when you taught your nervous system that unpredictable is a threat. And so very often we don't realize this, but we suffer from the fear of the unknown, the fear of the unpredictable. And it's just something that we have inherited, borrowed from our upbringing, through our environment, through the things we have observed from our parents or caregivers, but also from trauma. If we believe that we need to be always a step ahead of everything because the world is so dangerous and bad, now we're going to be, our life is going to be run by this. We're going to be constantly stressed out because of the uncertain, because of unpredictability. I've got one person, and I'm not sure that person is the right person for that channel. Are you seeing? You're asking me if I'm Korean, Japanese, Korean, Filipino, Mongolian. I'm French. I hope that satisfies your question. Just so you know, I'm in here to help people with mental health, with anything to do with stress, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and so please be kind, just in case, because I'm realizing that a lot of people who are on the internet, they come in all sizes and shapes, and if you don't know what my live streams are about, yeah, sometimes I can end up with some strange comments, some strange guests. Pumpkin Puff. Hi Didi, how are you today? I'm very well indeed. How about you? So Are You Shing answered your question. Hopefully will satisfy you. You are doing a good job. All the best. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Luis and member, same thing. Gosh. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, so just so you know, if it's really important to you, I was born in France, in Paris, and my parents are Chinese, so my genetic is Chinese, but I've been living in the UK for 29 years now. So, yep. Yes, let's go down the thread and see if there's any comment other than that. Ariel, I like your tattoos. Thank you. Iona Bruni, and you sing a song with Forza Napoli. I won't be singing a song about Forza Napoli with you, but I wish you all the best with your football team, and I assume it's Napoli. Pumpkin Puff. I did write many notes over the week, part to clear my head, but also so I can remember to talk to you about. Okay, fantastic. Luis, you're asking me second time where I'm from, even though I told you already. I think that leads me to conversation, actually. A lot of us, we believe that it's very important to find out where people are from, and it's not a bad thing in social settings because it gives us an idea of the sort of things we can talk about. But I really don't see myself as either Chinese or French or British. For me, it's something that I have never connected to. And then I realized why. There's something called tribal instinct. And some of us have a higher level or a lower level of this. So what it means is that when we have a tribal instinct, we associate some sense of ourselves with a tribe, with a group of people. So it can be with a football club, it can be with our religion, it can be with our community, it can be with our country. But whatever it is, some people really associate themselves with a group, and for them it's very important to always mention it and to know where others are coming from so that we can put them on their mental map of the world. But others, like me, we don't need that. And so to us, it's a bit alien. And it's not good or bad, it's just different. And so, yeah, something that I've been thinking about in the last few days. And the problem is that we live in a society that is so fragmented that if we have a very strong tribal instinct, that can create problem because it teaches us essentially the paradigm of us versus them. So now we're going to have more propensity to be manipulated by the media, by anyone who we look up to believe that there is something, there is an enemy out there, them. And that is one of the reasons why there's so many problems in the world, is because of that tribal instinct that people are not questioning. Typically, people who are very patriotic. And to me, I have no problem with that. Again, people do what they want, everyone is different. But if you're really such a patriot that is taking over all conversations and also you're willing to give your life to your country, to me, it means that you have been exploited by the society that you live in because of your tribal instinct. Because no one should, there's an age, believe any of those things anymore. I'm talking about patriotism. But I understand that it's a very touchy subject and it's just random because people keep on asking me about where I'm coming from. So I thought that maybe it's an opportunity for me to talk about this. But essentially, what I'm trying to say is that if you want to experience a deep self-awareness journey, it's important to detach ourselves from all of those things. So if I believe that I am this and that, we need to find a way to detach ourselves from the tribe, from the culture, from the religion. I am not just that, from that body, from that ego. And then we can start to see things from a different perspective. But as long as we are going to entertain that tribal instinct, we're going to be limited because we will do anything that we can to always protect and defend whatever our tribe is about, instead of learning how to step out of it and see things from a more unbiased perspective so that we can expand our experience of reality. I hope it makes sense. If this was totally random, again, for those who are new on my channel, hopefully I will get some questions specific to mental health, and I will resume the sort of things that I normally talk about on my live streams. Let's have a look. Okay, pumpkin puff, hopefully, that'll be it. When I notice I'm about to have a BPD switch, I try to create space for myself to calm down. My husband says that giving me that is him showing he doesn't care, so he doesn't leave me alone, so we talk. Let me read it again. I'm just going to do one thing. No, let me read this again, sorry. I'm a bit scattered today. I need to regroup. When I notice I'm about to have a BPD switch, I try to create a space for myself to calm down. My husband says that I'm giving me that is him showing he doesn't care, so he doesn't leave me alone, so we talk. All right, okay. So basically you want to create a space and he wants to not leave you alone. Okay, let's see what's next. Asa, what is your resolution for this year? My resolution is to take everything that I've started the previous years to the next level. So it's a lot of things, but I don't really do much New Year's resolution anymore. If you want to know about this, I have created a long form video on my YouTube channel. I'm talking about it precisely. And let me read you the title of it. It's a video that I put out 2 weeks ago. On the thumbnail, it says New Year's Resolutions Work. And the title of it is How to Create New Habits That Last Simply and Easily. So check it out if you have interest about that. But for me, I've done a lot of work on myself, and I have learned how to appreciate each month, each year, each day, each moment more. And so basically, I don't see my life as chunks of years. For me, a new year doesn't indicate anything new. Every day is new to me. Every day is a new start. Every day is a blank canvas, and anything can happen. Every moment can even be that. And so for me, this year, for the first time, I didn't even watch or celebrate the fireworks. Because it's just one of those things. I've seen many. I will see more in the future, but it's not a big deal to me. I don't believe that there's a magical switch that happens overnight between the 31st of December and the 1st of January. I am still my same self. And I think, if anything, for those who have New Year's resolutions in mind, it's very important to realize that we don't reset. As in, it's not like we have a chance to start all over again. Everything that we didn't like, everything that we couldn't do the previous year, now we can do it all again. Because if we do that, we're dismissing a whole year. And if we do this every year, we're dismissing a whole life. And so I think it's very important to realize that we are continuing something that started from when we were born. So a new year is not a reset. It's an opportunity for us to maybe ponder what happens and keep going forward with everything that we've done, and also learning how to accept and appreciate the good things that we managed to create the previous year. And so I don't have any specific New Year's resolution, and not anymore. I used to have some, and I did do them and explain how to in the video that I mentioned. But for me, really, each month, each week, each day is an opportunity to create something, to take everything that I've done to the next, take it to the next level. And so, what about you, Hasha? Is there any New Year's resolution that you would like to talk about? Pumpkin Puff, I've reminded him multiple times that you specifically told me to tell him that he need to give me space when I'm not myself, but he feels that he's leaving me in a negative headspace to fester. Okay, ... So let's see what you say next. Louise and Emma Boy, I'm going to subscribe to your live channel. Okay, thank you. Who are you? Hi Didi, I hope you are doing well. I'm all right, thank you. How about you? Who are you? My topic today is that I feel like I'm stuck, but also at the verge of a breakthrough. Okay. I can recognize my behavioral patterns and the reasons I behave the way I do. I am just finding it difficult to change behaviors and thought patterns. Okay, so what is the problem? The problem is that you want everything to be changed just like that? Is it the problem? You're annoyed because you haven't changed just yet? Because if that's the question, for you to have an awareness that you are working on yourself and that it's getting better is all that you need. Things happen when they're meant to happen. If we are telling ourselves, oh, why am I not changed already? Then we are being unkind to ourselves and we are going to make that process much, much harder. If you can tell me more, that would be helpful. Pumpkin Puff. He's also mentioned a few times that I'm acting like my dad, who is a narcissist, and that makes me get worse. It's a really bad trigger for me. I don't know how to explain to him that it is not the best reason. Okay. So I'm sure there are more. Okay, you know what? I see there's one more. Who are you or better my emotions? Back to Pumpkin Puff. Sorry, I wrote a lot. I'm ready to listen. Okay, so that's it. So basically, you're annoyed because you're trying to convey to your husband that you should need some space whenever you're having your episodes, and he's not complying. So that annoys you. Well, what I need you to remember is that we cannot control whatever is happening in the other side. You can try to explain yourself, but if it doesn't change, that's it. You cannot change him because he's his own person. He has his own filters, his own baggage, his own perspective of life, his own belief. And so what you want to do then is to set boundaries. And this is what we do. Set boundaries and tell him, I understand that you come from a good place, but I can't deal with that. So tell your husband, if you keep coming into my face, even though I told you not to, I will have to do something about it. I will not see you for the rest of the day or something like that. It's for you to come up with something. You have to set boundaries. You have to create a space where you are, where you have some power back, right? If he's not listening to you, if he keeps on pushing his face into yours, then you have to do something about it. You can't expect him to understand if your words were not enough. Maybe you need to take actions for him to realize the gravity of it. And so have you tried to set boundaries with your husband? But also, probably when it happens, what do you end up doing? You assume that because he's trying to stay with you, then in those moments, things are getting worse and you get into a fight, right? Is that the case? Who are you? There's a lot that happens unconsciously, of course, and I do catch myself, but sometimes it's mid-behavior or afterwards. How can I prevent that, or what do I need to do to get to the next level? So you are doing what you have to do. Let me try to understand. I'm trying to understand what is the problem. What is the specific problem? What is the specific thing that is holding you back, that is annoying you, that you want to overcome? And also, it's vague because I don't know what other patterns that you're talking about. What behavioral pattern are we talking about? Could you please clarify this for me so that I have an idea of what you're talking about? What thought patterns, what behavior? Because there are tons of possibilities. Give me one example, please. Jim is trying. I'm scrolling through YouTube lives and telling people which color Power Ranger they'd be. I think you'll definitely be red. Okay, fair enough. Red is it's not a bad color. It means many different things depending on the cultures. But in some cultures, it's actually good. For Chinese people, red is quite awesome. Shana Cotton, I finally got disability and the relief of not worrying about being homeless or where food will come from is helping my mental health issues a lot. Yes, okay, well done. I have CPTSD and autism and I'm feeling steady. Good on you. I was having that conversation with someone earlier on today, and we don't realize how poverty is the #1 cause, directly and indirectly, of all mental and emotional problems. And so, you know, if you have found some sort of support financially, that's great. Jim is trying. The Red Ranger is usually the leader of the Power Rangers. Strong claw. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. I've got a red tattoo. I don't know if I can show you. I've got a lot of red here. There's a phoenix and a dragon. So I'm quite happy with that choice of Power Rangers color for me. Who are you? Mostly attachment issues / interpersonal matters, and potentially BPD and age gap guy used to be omnum. You used to be omnum. We talked about it, so you have changed your name. Okay. So again, I need to know, what is it? What is the attachment issue? What is the pattern? What is the situation? What happened specifically? If you can give me that, I can talk about it, because at the moment, it's too vague for me. It's like, I've got a problem, I want to change something, but it's not happening. What can I do about it? I don't know. Could you tell me more about what is that thing specifically, please? Lucky Dog, your videos are so helpful to understand the unhealthy patterns and to let go of them. Thank you so much. I'm glad that they help. Pumpkin Puff, I think he feels that he's being a bad partner if he leaves me alone, but also I feel like he's slowly pushing me off an edge until I completely snap. Okay. I find it difficult to understand today. Maybe it's me. So you have a problem with your partner. We can't change them. You can only take actions about what you do, what you say, what you allow, and how you feel about yourself by looking at it from a different perspective. So if you're, I don't know, if my partner, if my husband was constantly in my face, I would shout at him. I would let it out. I would be angry and say, stop it. That's enough. I told you many times, so that he understands, not from my words, but from my anger, that I'm overwhelmed. And maybe I will create something. So I'm not saying that anger is a good thing, but sometimes there's a place and a time for it. Sometimes when we can't express ourselves through words, our emotions exist precisely for that. So maybe you can cry, maybe you can shout. Get him to understand that you're overwhelmed, that he's making it worse on you. Right? Now, there's also the fact that maybe it's time for you to move on, because not all relationships are meant to stay forever. Very often we create problems for ourselves because we are so attached to that person or to that idea that we should make it a success, and then maybe it was never meant to happen. So there's a lot of different angles to look at it from. But you said that you have, if you said that you have set boundaries, and he feels that he's feeling a bad partner, it doesn't matter what he feels. The whole point of the boundary is for you to set a boundary. If you set a boundary and you feel bad because you've set a boundary, you have not set a boundary. You tried to do one, but then you felt guilty about it. And now your boundary is worth nothing. They're walking all over it, right? The whole point of a boundary is for you to say, stop, this is me, this is you, let's meet in between, let's create a place where we are both safe. And if they keep pushing, and if they make you feel bad about yourself, then it's a manipulation tactic. It's not kind from them. If they really cared about you, they would listen to you. They would think, okay, I don't want you to be so distressed. I don't want you to feel like that. They make an effort. If they don't, it means that there's something fishy about them, right? Maybe at that moment. So again, I'm not saying that they are bad people, but maybe at that moment, his behavior is not necessarily good for all sorts of reasons that have got nothing to do with you, but you still need to set a boundary. If you feel guilty for setting boundaries, it's because you've never done them, and so it's normal. But your whole learning curve is to learn how to be okay with saying no, as opposed to, I said no, but I don't know. No, the whole point of the boundary is that you said no, and then F off. That's it. Take it out of it. That's a boundary. And again, I know that it's difficult, but I'm surprised because with borderline personality disorder, we don't tend to have those sort of problems. If anything, when we set boundaries, it's more like it's not a fence, it's a nuclear bomb. So I'm a bit confused here. Maybe I didn't get the whole thing the way I was meant to get it. Who are you? It's almost like I have two operating systems. One is my natural reactions, and one is the way I should behave or how a regulated person behaves. Yes, we have many parts. You don't have one or two. You have many different parts of you. We all do. We all have different systems, different operation systems, if you want. And there's a part of our mind that is in charge of giving the power to whichever part of you it believes is the most suited to that occasion. And people in your life, you don't talk to the same. You don't talk the same way to someone that you know very well and to a stranger. You don't talk the same way to a close member of your family and to your colleagues or your boss or your clients. You don't talk the same way to people that have a position of power and people that you look maybe like having less power than you. We all do this. It's very normal. We shouldn't be doing this, but we all do that. And so yes, this is normal actually. Pumpkin Puff. It feels impossible to have an important conversation about us while I'm in a BPD episode. Yes. So we talked about it a few times before. When you have a BPD episode, it's not possible. It is not possible. It is not possible, right? So you need to create a space. If he's continuing, close the door, lock it, run away, do something. You have legs, you've got arms, you got a brain, you have imagination. Just do it, right? If it's not happening, it's because you don't dare doing something, right? But again, I'm surprised because if you have BPD, it would be easy for you to lash out, right? Wouldn't it? Or am I missing something? It's puzzling my brain. Let's try and see what happens next. It feels impossible to have an important conversation about us while I'm in a BPD episode. Yes, of course. And he's telling me I'm like my dad, or what I feel is judgment. It doesn't matter what he says. What matters is that you have your space, right? What matters is that you can find a way to regain mental clarity. That's it. Whatever he says does not matter. Very important, right? What matters is how you feel about yourself. That's it. Maybe that's the source of the problem. You're trying to accommodate him. There's a people pleaser aspect of you. You know what? Let go of it. There's a time and a space for everything. The first priority is for you to create space so that you can reset. You can allow for all the confusion to settle in, and so that you can see clearly. That's your only prerogative. Whatever he thinks, whatever other people think, is none of your concern. It doesn't matter. Focus on your breath, focus on your nervous system, focus on your body, focus on your physical state in the moment. And then next thing, you know what? Maybe you're not meant to be together. Maybe it's a terrible relationship. If he knows that you have BPD and he's attacking you and telling you that you're just like your dad, he hasn't done his homework. When we're with someone with BPD, we need to understand that us, people with BPD, we are very insecure. And the last thing we need is for someone to criticize us. If he doesn't get it, then he needs to do some more homework, or maybe you need to be having a break. Who I hope age gap guy is going through a lot, and he's in a clinic because of his crazy ex. I remember a conversation with you, who he got PTSD from. He's been there a week, and I visited him during weekend and was not that stable mentally. Okay, Pumpkin Puff. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally get it, and it's probably how I'm typing. I can always reward things if needed. Okay. Who are you? I ended up confessing my feelings for him. Turns out he also has feelings for me. Okay, that sounds good so far. Pumpkin Puff. I yell, I cry, I tell him I'm overwhelmed or why I'm angry. He wants to help, but it feels like a fire getting worse and worse. Okay, so in that case, it's not working. So it doesn't matter what he wants to do. If it's not working, it's not working. It's that simple, right? Prioritize one thing, one moment, one choice at a time. Who are you? But he was not happy at all that I said it out loud. We both originally decided to not be in a relationship or even take it into consideration until we both sort ourselves out. Which could be 1 to 3 years from now, we assume. Okay. You know what, Huayup? Forget about that guy. That guy is not for you. That guy is making you wait. He's telling you, basically, he's trying to tell you that somehow you matter to him, and yet he's not ready to invest himself into you. And so forget about him. Just move on. There are zillions of people out there. Forget about him, right? I'm sure you can find plenty of amazing people who would love you without having to put you on standby for 1 to 3 years. This is BS. Pumpkin Puff. I just don't know if this is a me issue where I need to put my pride and feeling aside. Maybe I'm being an a-hole, but my mind tells me that he's being a jerk. Okay? So it's never just this or that. Maybe it's you and him and them and a lot of things, right? Maybe it's all. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you can do. Just focus on what you can do in this moment to feel better about yourself. You don't need to judge, you don't need to compare, you don't need to decide who's going to have the trophy of the villain in the story. It doesn't matter. A lot of people hurt us not because they want to hurt us, but because they can't help. It's the same with you. You have BPD, you have hurt a lot of people, and you never wanted to. We don't do it on purpose. We are just what we are. Some of us are wolves, some of us are frogs, some of us are pigeons, whatever, just animals. We are different things, and we must accept that this is who we are. And so we must find whatever works best for us in this moment. And it's not about judging. A lot of people have judged me because I hurt them, and I did hurt them, and I'm so sorry about this, but that doesn't help. They had to get rid of me because I was not able to change yet back then. The only thing they could do is to get rid of me, and I'm glad that they get rid of me, because otherwise I would have ruined them furthermore. And that's the last thing I want to do, but I just can't help because it was in my nature, in my habits, in my system, in my program back then. And so think about this. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It really doesn't matter. It's not about right or wrong. It's about what feels right and what are we ready to do? What are you ready to accept? What is he ready to accept? And then if it fits, now you can try something. If not, maybe create a space. Especially when we have BPD, we will be attracting people with different conditions as well. And so now we have like a lot of dynamite in the same bag, and that can be quite risky. Now, alternatively, you can go through it until eventually it explodes, or it fixes itself. However, let go of the need to understand, of the need to judge, of the need of finding out who's the winner, who's the loser, who's right, who's wrong. Those things don't matter. It only makes things more complicated and worse. And then maybe you are an a-hole, and maybe he's a jerk. Maybe those are both true. I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? What matters is that you realize that whatever you do in any moment is the only thing that you can do based on your past, based on your program. And whatever he does is the only thing he can do based on his past, based on his baggage, based on his belief system and his habits of reactions. We're all doing our best. So we don't want to expect people to be different, or we don't want to judge them either. We want to accept this is me, this is him or her or them, and it's okay. Now we can either be compatible in this moment or not. But we don't want to try to change people or try to judge them or judge ourselves either. It's about understanding that we are all the victims of our past. We're all the continuation of whatever happened to us up till point. And so we want to let go of the myth of a character. I think this is the one thing that creates the most problem in this humanity. We believe that there's such thing as a character. Some people are doing it on purpose. No. Everything that we do is a continuation of everything that happened before. Nothing we do is on purpose. We are all limited and run by a subconscious mind that is emotional, that thinks and moves and acts and takes control before we can even be aware of it. Understanding this changes everything. What we can do, however, is to realize that this is who I am now. This is who he is now. Can we do something about it now or not? Thank you for your heart. Shana Cotton, is there anything else I can do to maintain a level of security now that I have the means to afford food and shelter? Like what structural activities could I move on to start good habits? What you want to do is to learn how to relax yourself and trust the universe, instead of going the opposite way. Instead of thinking, oh, now I've got some security, I need to make sure that I maintain my security. Because the more you do this, the more you're going to create stress and resistance and pressure and tension. Accept that you're lucky, you're supported. And so trust that you've always been supported and that you don't need to obsess about this. if you have autism and what was CPTSD. If you have CPTSD and autism, the one thing that you really want to do is to let go of pressure, let go of stress, let go of tension. And we talked about poverty anxiety, and this is one of the worst type of anxiety the vast majority of us will experience. And so, how to deal with that? Don't worry about the actual matter of things outside, because you don't have control over that. Whether the government is going to help you out or not is not up to you. Whether some people are going to help you out or not is not down to you. What is down to you is how you're going to express this moment and how you're going to either trust the universe or not. And that choice will make you feel better about yourself. And this is what you can do. You can't control whatever is going to happen as far as finances are concerned, but you can choose how you're going to feel about yourself in this moment. And this is something that you can do straight away and all the time. So now, from a practical perspective, I'm sure that there are ways for you to do things about it, but I don't want to go into that direction. I'm sure that whatever you need to know, you will find out for yourself. What I would rather you do is to focus on surrendering and somehow accept that you're lucky, you're good, you're fine, everything's going to be okay. Trust yourself, trust the universe, and that will help you feel better about yourself. And if it doesn't work, it's not that it didn't work. You never had control over the external events anyway. No one does. Huayip, I'm struggling, holding back, and catch myself making him the center of my world. And he needs distance, but he has no boundaries because he wants me to. Ah, okay. Again, yeah, BPD, the center of your world. I get it. I get it. I think that he's not maybe ready for you. Because, yeah, it's so obvious, but I didn't see it. He knows that you got BPD. So he knows that you will be infatuated by him. This is what we do. We get obsessed about someone and we put everything on them. Like you say, making him the center of my world. And so people who are aware of that, they have two choices. They're either going to help you or they're going to use it. I don't want to say it like that, but to me it feels like that. People don't do it consciously, but they're repeating some sort of dynamic that they had in the past, and this is something that works for them, but not for you. But I also know by experience that whatever I tell you will not make any difference. Whatever I tell you about your husband or your partner, you will not listen to anything that I said. And you will still stick to him no matter what fight you get into every day, even if it's been forever, because BPD. And so the only way to deal with that is for you to go through your life and realize at some point when too much is too much. And if it doesn't happen, it's a tricky one, because we don't only have one person that has some baggage, we've got two, and both have different baggage. So now it's double trouble. I have encountered that situation before. So I know through a lot of experience that no matter what I tell you will not make a difference at this point in time. Maybe by the end of the live stream I will come up with something new, but yeah, it's a tricky one. Shana Katan, thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you. Natural Express, the way you pace your speech in your shorts is amazing. How did you come up with that? With this tact of speaking, it's very pleasing to the ears. Thank you very much. Just doing something more and more so, and eventually something comes together naturally. But thank you. I'm glad that you appreciate my delivery. The Land's Savior. frankly, how many people have the same EQ like you in the world? All right, thank you very much. EQ, emotional intelligence. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Probably not many, but only because it's not being taught. And so this is why I'm here, precisely to try to expand people's EQ, level of empathy and compassion through those live streams. But thank you for saying this. The Land Savior, it's very kind of you. Who are you? I feel like I'm overwhelmed by him, by confessing. I feel like I overwhelmed him by confessing, and most importantly, I know if I were regulated / stable, I would have never told him. Yeah, but if is pointless, right? So whatever happens is what happens, and so you have to work with what happened and what we can do next. And again, you know, you're still worrying about him. I feel like that I overwhelmed him. How about you? Don't you feel you've been overwhelmed? And again, it's not just by him. It's because you are not ready to be together yet. That's what I'm trying to say. In my mind, there's no baddies. There's no goodies and no baddies. We're just all doing our best, but we end up with people who are not aligned with the sort of people we should be with just yet. We're still both attracting something that hurt us in the past, and we're trying to fix it by reenacting the same scenarios in our adult life. So you do it from your end of this, of your relationship, and he does it from his end. Pumpkin Puff, I promise you, I'm a walking fire hazard when I split. I've tried everything. I don't know how to get him to override his want to help the way he wants to and help me how I need help. So if it's not working, maybe there's no solution. Maybe it's a no. Maybe it's a break, time off. This is the path of resistance. Sometimes we're trying so hard to squeeze everything in, but sometimes we must accept that it's not happening. Why? I don't know. It could be so many things, and I haven't spoken to him. So I only have one side of the equation, right? If I could speak to both, I would have different perspective, and I may be able to put things together in a big sort of a 3D puzzle and understand things from my own perspective as a therapist. But if it's not working, maybe it's just not working, and we can learn how to accept those as well. You know what? Learn to accept yourself. Learn to accept himself. Whether he accepts you or not, it's his job. If he doesn't do it, it's on him. There's nothing you can do about it. But what you can do is to accept yourself and himself. Accept, I effed up. Accept, he's still in my face. And if you can't accept this, it means that you should maybe think about something else altogether. What's your favorite Oasis song? I don't know. I'm not a great fan of Oasis. I've listened to them. I went to see them live in 1981. No, 1991, just before the release of the second album. So I appreciate the first two albums, but for me, after those two albums, they always sound the same. And I love music, but I like when bands or artists evolve. And to me, they've never evolved really. And so they're like, I appreciate that for some people it's very important to them. It's a very important band to them. But yeah, I don't know, I don't even have them in mind. I can give you one. Roll With It. I think Roll With It would be my favorite song from Oasis. There you go. Pumpkin Puff, I just need to figure out how to fix myself. Okay, so this is the thing. You don't need to figure out how to fix yourself. You need to figure out how to accept yourself. Remember when I always say to people, be kind to yourself. You don't have anything to fix. You have to be kind to yourself. And as you are kind to yourself, then things will start to fix themselves naturally. This is how it starts. It goes in that order. Just 1 second, please. You need to stop thinking that there's something wrong about you. We talked about it last time. So let me reiterate. There's nothing wrong about you. as in you are not possessed by some evil entity or some incurable disease. You are the result of everything that happened to you up to this point. And you have not chosen your childhood. You have not chosen your parents. You have not chosen your trauma. You have not chosen your belief. You have not chosen your reactions. You have not chosen all of the things that you suffer from. You have not chosen the BPD. And so what you want to do is to learn how to first accept yourself. This is me. Take me or leave me. I know that I suck. I'm doing my best and I can't do more than my best. And so appreciate that your best is good enough. Be kind to yourself. Stop thinking that you need to fix anything about yourself. And then, if you can, learn how to accept your husband as well. This is what he does. He's trying his best. If you genuinely feel that he's trying his best, accept him and think, you know what? It's chaos in our household, but it's okay. I accept myself and accept him. We take it one day at a time. We're still together despite the fights, despite the fireworks every single day. And so maybe there's something about it, right? Accept it instead of trying to change anything. And realize that the moment you start to accept yourself, now things will be better and easier as far as your self-reflection, self-awareness, and journey of healing is concerned. Does it help? Pumpkin Puff. Having BPD makes me feel like when I split, he concludes that it's my brain painting him as a jerk, which is particularly is. But also sometimes he's being a jerk. Okay, so this is it. So tell him, yes, it's true. Sometimes my mind exaggerates everything and I see you like a jerk. But sometimes you're also a jerk. One doesn't exclude the other. If anything, DBT, which is what is often used for BPD, dialectical behavioral therapy, is the type of thinking that gets us to accept that more than one opposite truth can coexist. And so it's true that I exaggerate how I see you, but at the same time, it's also true that you are being an a-hole to me right now. Both truths can coexist. It's not one or the other. So maybe that's how you can eventually agree, right? Again, is that false dichotomy of right or wrong. Pumpkin Puff, I'm sorry for being all over the place. I just really needed your insight. I'm here. It's okay. Keep coming. Keep asking. Sometimes I can be a bit passionate, depending on my state as well. But I always will be here, and I always will do my best to express whatever I can express in that moment that I deem relevant to the conversation. Pumpkin Puff, you are 100% correct. Thank you. Who are you? Pumpkin Puff. I feel you. Same. Okay. Who are you? Sometimes he helps me, sometimes, mostly when he's unstable himself, he allows me to go on with his behaviors. Okay? Pumpkin Puff. It's actually really nice hearing about everyone's experience with BPD. I understand it's hard to be with someone with it, but it feels extremely hard to be the one actually with it. We just want love. So again, DBT. It's true that it's hard to be with someone with BPD, and it's also true that it's hard to have BPD. It is hard. But the other way to look at it is that you have an awareness of this and you're working on it now. You've been through a lot of terrible years, and even though you're still going through some problems, I'd like to believe that it's getting a little bit better compared to the past. If only for the fact that you know that you have BPD and that your partner / husband / boyfriend knows it too. That makes a huge difference. Understanding that it's not you, it's a condition that you didn't choose. And so yes, both sentences are true. It is absolutely true that it's super hard to be with someone that has BPD, and it's super mega hard to have BPD as well. But maybe this is what you want to tell your husband. Tell him, I know that it sucks to be with me, but if you love me, I want you to realize that it sucks as well for me. I didn't choose this. So if you can love me enough to keep going, to keep staying with me, then it means that we're doing something good. We're both working on something together. But the first thing that you need to remind yourself is that it's never because of me or because of him. It's because of everything. It's because of the both of you and because of everyone who ever existed in both of your lives, right? It's because of your both families and friends and teachers and everyone, bullies, but you have ever encountered. It's because of everyone. And so that makes it much easier. I think there's a part of, I was having the discussion earlier on today with someone else. There's a part of our mind that needs closure and understanding of things. And maybe that's why we need to have a right or wrong, to have an illusion of control and understanding of the world. But the real answer to any of those questions would be, it's because of everything. And so we don't need to have a culprit. And instead of trying to blame someone to have an illusion of control, we should just focus on, okay, what is my next move? What can I do the next moment to feel a bit better, to make this relationship a little bit better, to get him to understand me a little bit better? We just want love. Jen D. Martinez, howdy boss, how's your day going so far? It's good, it's a good day, thank you. How about you? Who are you? Also, I have been in similar situations multiple times, and I like to not repeat the cycle, but I feel like it sneaks up on me. I'm working on my boundaries with him, but I'm not sure if this can work out, even if we were to just stay friends. Okay, so in that case, don't. Consider that option. Again, consider, and this is for everyone, we tend to make our life much harder because we believe that I'm with someone, it's got to work. But sometimes life and people show us all the signs that we need to see. It's not working. It's getting worse. And it's been ongoing for years. Why are we still doing this to ourselves and to them as well? Just because we believe that somehow we can change something that we have never been managed, that we have never managed to change, because we're just replicating something that happened to us in childhood already. And so sometime maybe we just need to realize, okay, it's not going to work. I need to accept it. Who are you? As I said, sometimes I catch myself and correct, and I'm capable of it, and sometimes I just get needy and unstable. Yes, BPD. We all fluctuate from a state to another, and if you have BPD, the fluctuations will be more spectacular. Pumpkin Puff. I've told my husband multiple times to leave me, and he refuses, which is special to me that he wants to stay, but I need to fix the way we argue. He doesn't yell, but I do. So when he refuses, what is your thought about it? This is what the boundaries are about. If he refuses, this is where you set a boundary. If you don't set the boundaries, it means that you're choosing for the same shit, pardon my French, to perpetuate forever. You're choosing this, right? You can choose to set a boundary, or you can choose to allow for the same dynamic to continue forever ad eternum. It's your choice. You have that power. It's not a choice that we do consciously, but now that you know, you can grab that choice. You can choose to set a boundary and change something, or you can choose to allow for the same thing to continue. It's your choice. Those are your two choices. There are no right or wrong, because you can only do what you can do. But at least if you are aware of those choices, that gives you a bit more of empowerment. It's my choice. So I'll try to set the boundaries. I can't, you know what? I'm choosing to allow him to keep refusing to see me and accept me as I am. It's your choice. And if you can accept that it's your choice, you'll feel a bit better about yourself. You know what? I've chosen this. It's okay. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, the universe will give us some luck and something will happen. But in the meantime, I have chosen this. I am not a victim. I have chosen to let him, to allow him to refuse listening to what I say, or something like that. Kevin, hi, I have a New Year's resolution to do. Okay. I don't feel like doing it. Okay. What is it? Pumpkin Puff. Not saying I want him to leave me, by the way, but as you know, we try to leave before others leave us. Yes. All I'm doing is to try to get people to realize their options. Sometimes considering leaving someone and going halfway through that possibility triggers a lot of reactions in the relationship. Right? Sometimes the other person needs to see that enough is enough, and there's a risk, so that they don't take us for granted anymore. So it's not about all or nothing. It's about showing through your energy. So I was talking about anger, but also saying, you know what, I'm packing my bag, arrivederci, bye-bye, I don't want to see your face anymore. Now, when they see that, they get the message. It's a way to set a boundary. And so bear this in mind. But if you don't do anything, if you don't express yourself in any way, now they're never going to take you seriously as far as boundaries are concerned. Pumpkin Puff. I love him dearly. I agree. I need to just stop trying so hard and go with the grain instead of against it. Okay. Yep, I agree with that. John Madden. Greetings from South Sukan. Okay, I don't know what is South Sukan, but thank you and greeting to you. April Taylor McClure. Hi from Western Canada. Okay. Hello to you. Hi, dear Didi from Bossy Truffy. Pumpkin Puff. Oh, yes. You told me about that before. DBT or DBT? Yes. DBT. Dialectical Behavior Therapy. TL82 Spence. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you. John Madden. My wife's friend has BPD and she stopped treatment after 2 years because she was cured. She's in a different country, cheating on her husband right now. Okay, so what does that mean, the cheating part? She cured? I don't understand. So it is possible to change from the BPD. We don't get cured, but we can fix some of our patterns of behavior. We can upgrade some of our triggers and some of our habitual reactions and overreactions. We can work on that over time, but we don't cure from that, because when we have a condition like borderline personality disorder, it's not a thing, an entity that is attaching itself on us. It's the way we see ourselves, the way our brain develops because of the trauma we've been through in childhood. And so it's a whole sense of self, which means that you don't want to change everything anyway. But we want to address the main triggers that are causing the most problems in our lives. And after that, we'll have the rest of our life maybe to address the little bits and bobs as we go along. Thank Congress. You look untrustworthy. Okay. Very frightening. Please don't. I won't be coming after you. Thank Congress. Huyup. Is healing from BPD learning how to cope / get better at self-regulation emotionally, or is it something that one can get rid of with time? So I just explained. It's about you understanding that the way you perceive the world is different because of the things that happen to you. And so there are as many ways to observe the world as there are situations. So you may have a perception when you are talking to your husband about something, and then to someone else about a different topic, in a different place, in a different time. So we have all of those filters for every single situation. We can't change everything just like that. It's possible technically to change everything, but you have to change a lifetime of habit. Any aspect of your life has to change. And so we don't want to do this. What you want to do is to just address the main triggers that are creating the most problems for you. And this is what we address. We address the specific belief, the specific emotional blocks or triggers that are to do with that situation that is so explosive and so destructive in your life. But once you've done that, a lot of things will change in your life. A lot of your belief will also change because they're all attached to a core one. This is the one we want to address. You want to address beliefs that are to do with you and your self-worth. But there will still be some remnants of the BPD brain. And so there will be some level of insecurity at times. And it may be some things that you don't discover until you talk about that specific subject with that specific person in that specific place and time. But then you will think, it's happening, it's my BPD. It's okay. So now you would have developed by then a system to learn how to self-regulate and to upgrade that belief specifically afterward. I hope it makes sense. Bird alert. I am very lonely. Over the last few years, I have connected with people, but I seem to get into these scenarios where people find me in a bad time in their life, need someone for comfort. So let me try to understand. I have connected with people, but I seem to get into these scenarios where people find me in a bad time. What does that mean, find you in a bad time? I don't know, in a bad time in their life. You need someone. Okay, so if you need someone for comfort, learn how to, what can I say? It's a tricky one. I don't know you. Do you suffer from depression? Have you always suffered from depression? Could you answer me this, please? If that's the case, I would say address the depression. Because unless we address the source of the problem, we're just trying to put a band-aid on something that is much, much, much deeper. There are a lot of things that we can do. If we feel disconnected, we need to reconnect. So, so it doesn't have to be with a lot of people. What you want to do is to find some people, one person with whom you can talk, with whom you can be yourself. And so it's for you to expand your mind and to find out, where can I find those sort of people? What are my people? What are the stuff that I'm into? What are the stuff that I like? And then explore those places so that you can find some people there with whom you can connect with. Could you be more specific about your situation, please, Bird Alert? Pumpkin Puff, at what point does setting a boundary change to trying to control someone? Setting boundaries is not about controlling someone. Not at all. It's about, this is my term, take it or leave it. It's not controlling anyone. I don't like the way you speak to me. If you keep speaking to me like that, I'm not seeing you. I'm not controlling anyone. I'm saying I am removing myself away from the equation. That's the difference. I've got nothing to lose. I don't care. You don't want to be in my life. You're not in my life. But you have to abide, if you want to be, to that condition. Right? It's not controlling at all. They choose to do this or not. Now, the boundaries can be toxic if they are set by parents to the children, because children depend on the parents, so it's different. But with adults, I think you are mistaking boundaries with emotional blackmail. And so narcissists typically would use gaslighting and emotional blackmail to control and manipulate others. But a boundary is not that. It's not emotional blackmail. I think maybe where this conversation is leading is that people who use emotional blackmail, we call it an emotional blackmail because they know that there's an attachment that the other person can't help with. Oops. My watch is just telling me that it's time for me to put my last TikTok post of the day. So just bear with me, please. I'm going to do it now. Relax. It was just a joke.
Childhood trauma.
Okay. Yes. So at what point does setting a boundary change to trying to control? Yeah, no. There are two different things altogether. Bird alert. It never ends up real. It is halfway yoga. I don't understand. What is halfway yoga from Kevin? Bird alert. I have tried being the giver for a long time. It has not worked out. I'm drained. I don't understand. I want to understand. What do you mean you've been a giver and it didn't work? You're talking about a specific relationship, right? Could you tell me more about you, please? At the moment, I haven't got a clue. I can't picture what you are trying to tell me. Bird alert. UTBR. Hi, Didi. Thank you so much for taking our time to do these lives. We appreciate you and your wisdom. Thank you so much for appreciating what I do. Pumpkin Puff. I agree with you that I need to accept how both I and my husband are, but I need to stay firm on my boundaries. I feel like I'm trying to have boundaries, but maybe I'm doing it wrong. Okay? So we can talk about this. Boundaries is not telling someone, I don't like that. Boundaries are, I don't like that, and if you keep doing this, I will do that. So basically, you are stating your power. As opposed to, oh, don't do this. You're saying, no, I will do this if you don't do that. This is what a boundary is. And if you keep doing it, then that's when you apply the boundaries. And it's only in that moment that the boundary has a power. Until you show them that you mean business, they're not going to believe you. They're going to keep pushing. And so the whole point of a boundary is for you to first express your power and then show it. Dakota, hey, Did. You have a great day. Thanks for all your hard work. Oh, thank you. It's not hard, but thank you nevertheless, Dakota. Bird alert. I mean, I keep making friends, but I end up being a counselor. I want to bond over fun, but I can't seem to meet anyone who doesn't earn to bond over shared trauma. I seem to attract it. Okay. Yes, we do. We do this all. We attract people who are on the same level of emotional settings, trauma, wounds as us. So we do this. Now, if you don't want to do this, it's for you to consciously seek people and talk about things and engage in conversations that have got nothing to do with trauma. What would you like? What are the sort of people that you would like to attract in your life? Let's talk about this. And maybe we can come up with something together for you to make this happen. Pumpkin Puff. I just feel like crap. BPD isn't fun. My PTSD isn't fun. My triggers are not fun. Being painted as a person who is angry, sensitive isn't what I want either. I don't want to feel like I'm crazy. Okay? Okay. Acceptance. Acceptance. Precisely what I said. Accept that it's not your fault. Accept that you have BPD, you have CPTSD, you have all those things, the anger, the sensitivity. Accept. Learn how to love yourself. You suffer first from your own lack of self-acceptance, and then secondary from others not accepting you. It starts from the inside out. If you can learn to accept yourself, and you know what? I'm not perfect. I'm far from it, and no one is, but I'm doing my best, and my best is good enough. Do that. And I know that it's a long journey, and it seems probably even like it doesn't make sense to you at this point in time. But this is what you want to do. Learn how to accept yourself. I talked about it before. I will keep talking about it. It's something that people don't get it. It's really something very important that you need to do. Remind yourself, I am what I am. There are a lot of things about myself that I can love. There are a lot of things about myself that I can accept. And most of all, I need to accept that it's not my fault. Nothing is your fault. And so what matters is not shame, it's not guilt, it's not regret. What matters is that you focus on what you can do now in order to feel better. And what can you do? Be kind to yourself, which is what I always say at the end of every single live streams. Be kind to yourself. Accept yourself. It's not your fault. Accept that some people will not get it yet. Some people will never get it. Accept it. It's okay. As long as you accept yourself, the more you do this, the easier it will be for you not to need external validation, not to need other people's approval, not to need anyone else to tell you that you're good enough. This is the work. Accept that you feel like shit. Accept it. Sometimes I too feel terrible. Sometimes I too feel angry. Sometimes I too feel anxious. It happens to all of us. But instead of fighting it, I'm saying, oh gosh, I feel terrible. You know what? It's okay. It's only a moment. It's only a state. It's not going to last forever. I'm only human. So I'm going to allow for that emotion, for energy to pass through me. And eventually, the next moment, you know what? How am I feeling? Oh, it's better. Because I've accepted it, it's gone. If I avoid it, if I try to ignore that emotion, that feeling, that anger, that distress, that helplessness, the more I try to ignore this, the more it's going to keep knocking at the door. It's not going anywhere. Emotions and feelings are energies, and they're meant to be processed. If we don't process them in our body, they're going to keep coming until it's processed. And if we still push them away, they're going to manifest themselves in different ways. They're going to affect your nervous system, it's going to affect your immune system, they're going to affect your health, it's going to affect the way you sleep, the way you digest, they're going to affect so many other aspects of yourself. And so accept. I think we came to some sort of conclusion, didn't we, Pumpkin Puff? It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel despair. It's only a moment. Learn how to feel those things. Learn how to accept them. Learn how to let them go. You can't let go of something that you ignore, that you repress, that you avoid. You have to face those things, allow them in and out. Appreciate that. This is a human experience. And so, yeah, does it help? Pumpkin puff. Bird alert. Month passed by and I realized I haven't had a friend, but the person I've had to take care of. It keeps happening. Very often, people who have sort of problems are because they don't realize that this is how they see themselves. And so they only attract people who fit into the narrative of how they see themselves. So if you sort of see yourself like the carer, as the one who's always looking after the other ones, maybe when you're a child, you're the one in charge of your parents or your siblings. So because of that, it is something that has developed into your sense of identity. And now at a subconscious level, you only allow and attract and invite people in your life that you can help. But because you're subconscious, you may think, why is it always me helping others? When is anyone going to help me? That's because you are not saying it. You still see yourself like the carer. You don't realize this is not your fault. But you could really ask for help. Say, you know what? I need some help. I am overwhelmed. Help me out, please. I need someone to give me a hug. I need someone to listen to me. I've got a rant to let out. If you don't express it, people will not know. They will assume that you are strong. They will assume that you are the one who can help everyone. They will not see your vulnerability because you are hiding it. And so learn how to maybe, but first let me know what you think about it, but learn how to express yourself and ask for help. And the moment you can do this, the moment you can be more vulnerable is when you start to reconnect with people in a fair way at a deeper level. Bird alert. I don't have a lot of energy as it is, and I find myself managing other people's inability to deal with their own emotions. Yes, it sounds like that. Bird alert. I grew up with a depressed mother. I think I have a pattern. Yes. So, does that mean that you had to look after your mum? Does that confirm what I just said before? Pumpkin puff. Why do people push people's boundaries? Just out of habit. Whatever that we do is whatever we observed from the people in our lives as we grew up. So whatever, if we observe our parents and we see that they are fighting, whenever there's a problem they fight, then we're going to learn that, when I'm facing stress, what do? I fight, just like my parents. When someone set a boundary, what do? What did they do? They used to push it. I'm going to push, and so forth and so on. We don't realize how the vast majority of our behavior is literally a replication, replication, I don't know, pardon my French, a copy of the things we have learned to observe in childhood. If we can actually do some self-reflection work, it's a great thing to do. Realize that, why am I doing this? Because dad used to do that, because mum used to do that, because I saw someone that I looked up to when I was a kid who did that. It's that simple. And unless we realize this, we're going to think, feel, behave, react in the same way as all of those people. Henrik Muller. Oh, hello, Henrik. Hi. Can you elaborate more about bias and the subconscious? Okay, so yes, it's a big subject. Do you have any more specificity? The subconscious mind is biased because it has a function. It wants us to operate in life, and so it's going to create a lot of subconscious bias so that we keep doing the same thing in the same way. The brain, the mind, is designed for us to stay safe, and so for it, what is safe is what has a track record. So we're just going to repeat the same thing. And so the subconscious bias is going to make sure that we see the same thing from the same angle, we get to have the same sort of emotional reaction, good or bad, so that we stay into the same loop. So in that sense, this is what subconscious bias are about. There are many of them, we can talk about them, but do you have any more specific question about it, Henrik? Pumpkin puff. Okay, so this cycles back to self-love, acceptance of what happened to me, and that I can only try to heal and grow. Yes, 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 yes. 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 I try to think about something else, but all I come with yes, yes. So yes, absolutely. Nessa Curry, I love your energy. Thank you. Pumpkin Puff. So allow for the crappy feelings. Should I do the give feeling a color or sit with it? Yes, absolutely. Feelings and emotions, they're just feelings and emotions. We tend to avoid them, and repress them, and try to ignore them, and we suffer because of that. Learn to accept all the parts within you, all the emotions within you. Accept, and realize that everything is temporary, nothing lasts. So you feel those things, we allow for them to be, and the next moment, bang, it's done, and now you can deal with that situation with a much more clearer mind and physical state. Pumpkin Puff. Yes, I believe we have made a little breakthrough. Thank you. Thank you, Didi. I knew you could help. Fantastic. Thank you. SBR, how to heal from trauma. So there are many different steps. So there are many different types of trauma, and also there's a lot of complications. More often than not, we don't just have a trauma. We have a trauma and other conditions. And so it's a big question. Do you want to tell me more about yourself? If not, the way we deal with trauma is, number one, we need to be now safe. If we have been traumatized by some people and we still are exposed to them, it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, to heal, because we're still facing the source of the danger. So I'm talking here about toxic family members. Right? But the other thing then is to realize that trauma is something that has affected the way your nervous system is going to react to its perception of reality. And so the work is not just done here, you want to understand some things, but the main work about trauma is to readdress some aspect of your subconscious. Just let me have a sip of tea, please. And so there are different protocols out there. But when it comes to trauma, you want to use a protocol that can explore your subconscious mind. In other words, just talking therapy will not help. It will not fix anything, because your trauma doesn't live in your head. It lives in your nervous system, in your body, in your subconscious mind. And so typically systems like EMDR or any type of hypnotherapy would be the sort of things that we use to address trauma. Trauma is when we've been through a very overwhelming situation, and it was so overwhelming that that our brain, in order to protect itself from the trauma, from the overwhelming situation, has created some state of dissociation. So when we dissociate, it's a way for us to protect ourselves from the reality that we can't escape. But because of that, now the whole experience, the whole traumatic experience, has been fragmented. And so the trauma is essentially the brain not being able to store the whole memory of what happened. It's only got fragment. And so when we have the whole memory of a story, we have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so we know the story, it has begun, it has had a climax, and then it ended. So now we're back to where we are, no problem. With overwhelm, when the memory is fragmented, we only have some parcels of the memory. So now we don't have an ending, and the mind doesn't have closure, and it doesn't feel safe. And so whenever we're going to be having cues that reminds us of a situation, we can have a fragment instead of the whole story. And because the mind doesn't tell the difference between what is real, imagined, or remembered, it's going to react to it as if it was real and happening again. And so trauma is essentially to do with the whole process of what happened that I just explained, and our inability to tell ourselves the whole story, so that we can remind ourselves that it happened, but it's in the past, and I'm okay now. We think that it's still going to happen. And so the systems that we use, the system that I use with RTT, for instance, is to reframe the narrative. We go back into memories of the past, and we now are going to explore the whole of it, so that instead of having a fragment, we're going to have the full story. And now we can give the mind a closure. It is true that it happened. However, it's done. And now you're a different person, you're a grown-up. So you don't need to have those system in your body to protect you from that thing happening again. You don't need to be hypervigilant anymore. You don't need to be paranoid. You don't need to have any problem with your physical health. You don't need to have some anger outburst. You don't need to have low self-esteem and any of those things and more. And so, yeah. Do you want to tell us more about what trauma you are thinking of? I was thinking more about CPTSD, but did you mean PTSD or CPTSD? Pumpkin Puff, you're like a superhero, Diddy Khan man to the rescue. Bird alert. Thank you. I know I work a lot. I don't really know what I want. It's difficult. I have work to do. Okay, we can do this together, right? For those who don't know, I come here every week, every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. I'm on YouTube doing a live stream and taking all of those questions. So I'll be here Friday and I'll be here next week. If we don't cover anything, or if you have friends that you believe could benefit from my help, just bring them along, and I'm more than happy to spread some Didi's love, some karma payback this way. Kevin, New Year's resolutions to do Hatha yoga. So you want to do yoga, okay? Okay, so we wish you all the best with that. Is it a problem for you? Have you tried to do Hatha yoga in the past and you couldn't do it? We can talk about this if you want. Bird alert. Do you have much advice on burnout? Yes, but again, I need to know more about what you call burnout. Burnout can be a lot of things. There are many different ways to look at burnout. One of them is that we believe that we should do certain things, but we don't get anything from it. And so no matter how much we do, there's more out than in. So that's one of the ways we can describe burnout. Now there's burnout also because we can be overwhelmed by life. We can be asked, we want to try to do too many things, and we don't have enough physical and mental energy and emotional energy to do those things. So the advice that I would have about burnout is to address what sort of burnout, what is causing burnout for you. I need to understand this first so that I go in that direction, because it could be anything. Burnout is when you do too much of something and not enough of something else. Or because you're doing something that brings you no return, as in no emotional return. Like I work a lot. I work non-stop, but I love it. And because I love what I do, I don't burn out. If I burn out, it's only because maybe I don't sleep enough or something like that. I've got a bug, I'm ill. So physically, there's something that is limiting my energy. But then what I do, as soon as I realize this, I stop everything and I look after myself until I'm back on my feet, and then I can resume what I do. I think a lot of things to do with burnout is to believe that we must do those things, otherwise something bad will happen. If I don't do those things, I'm not a good person, I won't be accepted by society, or maybe I won't be safe. And so we want to change that belief so that we can create a system that is not so harsh on us. Jackson Valentine, hi Didi, I hope you're doing well. What inspired you to decide to start helping people online? It's just what I do. It's just what I do. I do what I do. I would do it I do it for free. I do it all the time. When I'm in the park, I have some strangers. I don't do it for free all the time. This is my job, right? I make a living out of it. However, what I'm saying is that even when I'm not doing it professionally, I do it for free when I'm meeting strangers in the park. In the bench, I give them sessions. I do it in the street. I do it with you. It's what I do. I talk about those things. I'm obsessed with those things. I think about all of those things all the time. I read books all the time, every single day. Study, research, watch some stuff. I write some books myself. I'm obsessed with that. So this is what I do. So yeah, I'm not doing it because I want to serve humanity or any of those things. I'm just doing this because this is me. This is what I do. Now, in the knowledge that it's also helping others, it makes me feel good. But I don't do this because of that. Right? I don't do this to be of service to humanity. I don't care. For me, this is a byproduct, and I'm happy that it's happening. But I do this first and foremost because it makes me feel good to be myself and to do what I do. And so, yeah, I hope it makes sense. Now, of course, I care for people, right? And it makes me happy when I can help them. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't come from a place of self-righteousness. Do it to be of service to others. I can't stand that. I believe that we should all tap into our happiness first and foremost. And then, as it happens, as we elevate our experience, we cannot but impact the rest of the world positively. It goes in that order. I hope it answers your question, Jackson. Henrik, thanks. All right. SBR, PTSD. All right. Okay. So PTSD, even when it comes to PTSD, our emotional setup from our younger years will have an impact on whether or not we're going to be, on how bad we're going to be affected by a traumatic event. Yeah. Even when it comes to PTSD, we know what happened. It was an event. It was an accident. It was a natural disaster. It was something big that happened. But a lot of people are going to go through the same experience. And some of us will resume their life within a month. Some others will not, and it will get worse. So what is the difference? The difference is the propensity we have to deal with that emotionally when it happens. And this is down to our developmental years. And so, again, we're back to that idea that we are the continuation of everything that happened to us up to this point. And so, if I'm going to deal with someone with PTSD, I will not only address that situation that we know has created the PTSD, but also the emotional setup that was there before, that has created a propensity to suffer from trauma much graver, much more seriously. Yeah, hope it makes sense. Bird alert. I am working on stressful job. I'm working a stressful job, but I've worked hard to achieve it. And as I said, my friendship that I've had, this giving dynamic. I'm lost, tired, and unsatisfied, but I must pay rent, bills, etc. Okay, so in that case, address your priority. What is your priority? We all have, more often than not, more than one problem, like health, money, friendship, love, purpose, any of those things more. What is your priority? What is the one most important thing for you? You want to find an entry point into your mountain of problems. And when you can find that entry point, one baby step at a time, address that thing. And eventually, once you have clarified that little corner of that pile of mess, then move on to the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. And eventually, at some point, things will become much clearer. But if you look at the state of your life from where you are now, it will look impossibly overwhelming. Gangster, bird alert, are you okay, mate? Me, VQ. May God gives us all healthy obsession. Thank you for your support. Okay, thank you. Raskolnikov, love and respect from Russia. Oh, wow. Hello, Russia. Hello, Raskolnikov. Thank you. Bird alert. I've always found it hard to relate to people like you yourself, which can do things for enjoyment. I've always been in survival or warlords. I was not like that always. I used to hate life. I used to hate myself. I tried to unalive myself many, many times. I suffered from a lot of situations and conditions. I was homeless at a very young age. I was a drug addict and an alcohol addict for up to the age of 39. I was very, very angry. I used to hate people. I used to hate myself. I used to hate life. Everything. I was in suffering and in pain and anxiety and tears every day and anger all the time. I'm a very different person. I was nothing like I am now. I changed. It's possible to change. It's not people like me. We only see people from where they are in this moment, but we are all a story. We are all a journey, and we never know what happened before, what we are going through now, and what will happen after. We just make assumption. And in my case, this is the case. This is what is happening. You see me like that because I've got a good energy, but this is the result. I'm 55 now. This is the result of 55 years of life. life. Well, I started to get better before. My transformation happened at the age of 39. For some people it's before, some people it's after, for some people it never happens, but it's possible. For all my life I used to believe that nothing's going to change. I used to hate everything all the time. Like really, really, I was angry. I've got BPD, bipolar, PTSD, CPTSD, and ADHD. And so I was a very, very different person. I was the last person who would think positive, who would be, yeah, my life was hell for 39 years. But somehow I changed. And so, you can change as well. You don't have to be born a person like that. We become that person. And if anything, if you had to suffer a lot of difficulties up to this point, the change will be even sweeter when it happens, because you will know the contrast. You will realize how amazing some little bits of happiness are, as opposed to people who take it for granted because they never suffered. I've been abused sexually as well as a child, and a lot of other things. And so, I don't think about those things more on a daily basis because I've got other things to think about. I've changed a lot. But when I look back at my past and I think back at those things, I'm like, gosh, I've really changed. It's really possible. Key Ginger, you're an inspiration that I can get to a better place than I am now. Yes, of course, we all can. Your life is a journey, and so it's never over until it's over. So as long as you're alive, no matter how old you are, no matter what your dreams are, everything is still possible. I do believe that everything is possible for as long as we're alive. Now, if you have some specific dreams, the specific dream may not be possible anymore, but something similar to that will be. Something that can give us the same sort of feelings is totally available. SBR, I experienced trauma and a head injury, and I'm dealing with anxiety. I want to know how I can recover and improve my mental health. Are you being looked after? Do you have professional help? If you have trauma and a head injury, it's important to seek professional help. I can help you within the scope of my capacity here. If you come to my live on YouTube every Wednesday and Friday, we can talk about it. But it's very important to do more, to do as much as you can, to really have the proper support that you need for those sort of things. This, what I'm giving, is just a little something. It's not a real solution just in itself to fix a trauma. But we can certainly alleviate it and get you to eventually seek the right help when you're ready for it.1VT Mom. Howdy, I forgot it was Wednesday. Okay. The thing about you as a counselor is that you have actually come through it. Yes, thank you. I'm a therapist. Yeah, I know, counselor, maybe it's similar for you. But yes, I understand what you mean. To have experienced something and to have found a way out makes a huge difference. Bird alert. I'm 39. I'm sorry you suffered that much. Change seems to elude me. I'm staying focused. My priority is money right now, as I have none, but it's tiring and the loneliness is draining. Okay? So in that case, what I want you to do is to realize that whenever you are doing what you need to do to make sure that you have more money to stay afloat, you have that choice. This is your power. You are taking that choice, you are using your power to make this happen. So I want you to realize, I can't change everything right here and now, but I can do this. I can do that job, I can do that work, I can work on that project so that I can have money. This is my choice, and I have the power of making this happen. So now I'm happy because I've made this. I have some money. I haven't fixed my loneliness, I haven't fixed my relationships, I haven't fixed my perspective of myself or the world or anything else, but at least I've created this for myself. I want you to realize that you have that power. Some people may not even be able to do this. You can. So remind yourself of your own power. Focus on your priority. Take it one day at a time, and eventually things will get better. But most importantly, focus on the things that you have, as opposed to focusing on the things that you don't have. Focus on your power, as opposed to the things that you have no control over. Focus on what you have done and what you can do, as opposed to all the things that you wished you could do, and you don't even know where to get started. Right? It's just about changing your perspective of things. If you can do just that, you start to feel better about yourself. And if you can feel better about yourself, you'll be able to think more clearly. And as you think more clearly, you'll be able to come up with some solutions. Right? Does it help? Bird alert. Yuli87. How do I best deal with a person who is manipulating me or trying, as I have now noticed, could be a communal narcissist or is the center of my social bubble and I stay away from that bubble at the moment. But that's not really a long-term solution. Thank you so much for your work. So let me try to understand. How do I best deal with a person who is manipulating me? You just don't allow them. If someone is trying to manipulate me, I will not. Don't fall into the narrative. When someone tries to manipulate someone, they're going to try to lure you into a trap. If you don't fall into the trap, they've got nothing on you. So what does it mean in real life? If a narcissist is trying to get you to react, they're going to try to tell you something about yourself, but it's not true. Don't react to it. Don't defend yourself. Don't justify yourself. Don't try to explain anything. Just, you know what? This is what you think. I don't agree with that. And just move on. If you don't react, they have nothing on you. Narcissists feed on reactions. It's a sign that they control you. They can push your buttons and they can manipulate you like puppets. But if you don't react, if you don't care, they will leave you and will find other people that will provide them with their narcissistic supply. So that's how you deal with manipulators. You don't fall into the narrative, you ignore them. I come across a lot of them on social media because of the nature of the social media. So a lot of them on my posts are going to say some things. And whatever it may be, they try to kind of get me to react in a certain way. And me, instead of defending myself, I would just say, "Are you all right, mate? I think you need some help." Why would you tell me that? What are you trying to achieve? Instead of me trying to talk about the subject we're talking about, I'm going to talk about something else totally different. I'm going to ask them, what are you trying to achieve about it? Instead of being sucked into that narrative, that story, that conversation that they want you to be sucked into. So maybe that's one thing that you may be able to implement. But it's very tricky because they understand that we have some buttons. We have some emotional triggers. And so that's how they recognize the people that they can manipulate. And they will often be attracted to people with a lot of unhealed wounds, so that they can press the buttons and get them to react. And so when you react, it's not that you choose to react, it's because you don't know that all of this is happening. They are manipulating and putting on your emotional strings because they understand how to do this, how to recognize people like that, and how to do this. But now that you know this, you can actually learn how to have a step ahead and think, you know what? Whatever they say, it doesn't matter. I'm going to stop believing that they are important. What they say don't matter. It's not special. It's not important. It's not the truth. It's not a fact. It's got nothing to do with me. And yeah. Does it help at all, Uli? Bird alert. Great. Some appreciation. Relax and have a bit more faith. Yes, Didi. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bird alert. Uli, form laws information. I have fallen into the trap already 2 years ago and have just realized that now they have other people but breadcrumb me to keep me close enough. In that case, keep away. That could be a toxic group of people. Sometimes it's easier to just move away. Choose quality over quantity. Narcissists are very good at manipulating people in good or bad. So what it means is that with you, they're going to be maybe toxic because you have that sort of relationship. But with other people may find that person amazing. This is what they are very talented at. They know how to control people, manipulate people, and come across as very special. And so some people will fall for that, but will not suffer from it. And so if that's the case, you don't have to say anything. Just move away from those people. They are in a different mental space and reality than yours. Don't try to change people. Choose a better gang. Choose people that can see that naturally. Choose people that you don't need to convince or explain anything. That'll be my advice. Or meet people on a one-to-one basis. See individuals like me. I don't do well with groups. I don't like groups. I never did. If I deal with groups, that'll be in a specific configuration. If I'm going to do a presentation, a talk, something like that, I know that this is my position, this is theirs, so I do my thing and it's all good. But when I socialize, I genuinely do one-to-one or maybe 1-to-2 or small groups if they are very people that know each other and it happens. But generally speaking, if it's a bunch of strangers, as soon as we're in a group dynamic, people become different. So my old self would say people become stupid, but it's not like that. It's not that simple. People become who they believe they should be within the dynamic of a group. They put masks, they pretend to be something else, and now everyone is fake, and this never resonated with me. I don't find it any interesting at all. And so see people on a one-to-one so that you can see each other and connect without the pressure of the group and that narcissist, that gang leader. SBR. I'm experiencing severe stress related to trauma and a high conflict divorce. I want treatment to help me regain emotional stability and strength for my children. I also have sleep apnea. Okay. So have you had some, who have you spoken to so far? What sort of help have you had so far? I can help you with that. Either here, through the capacity of YouTube live streams, or on a one-to-one. Uli, I don't want to serve as their supply anymore, but I would prefer not to lose the other people in that bubble. Lose them. Lose them. Lose them within the context of the group. See them separately on one-to-one. That's my advice to you. We get attached to people, but sometimes people change, or maybe they were never right for us anyway. I want you to realize that there are zillions of people. Go where it's easy for you, where people are kind naturally, where people see your talent, your beauty, without you having to try to do anything about it. No, find your tribe. Now, if you really like some of the people there, you can still see them, but out of the group dynamic. When people are in a group, especially if someone like that person seems to be the pack leader, they will be under the thumb of that person because they are the pack leader. It's that simple. And so you will not survive that group. It's the whole of them against you. See them on a one-to-one and allow for things to happen. Maybe at some point the truth will come out, and that person will expose themselves, and things will change. But at this point in time, you don't want to do this. You don't want to create problems like that. You want to find the right people, and the right thing will happen at the right time. Lose them if they don't believe you, or see them on a one-to-one, as I said. That'd be my advice. Fendi Kit. Can narcissists project their traits onto others, and can others pick up their traits via transference? What is transference? I know that word. Transference is the unconscious redirection of feelings, desire, or patterns from past significant relationships like parents onto someone in the present. Most notably, a therapist creating an emotional time warp. It's a core concept in psychoanalysis. I don't know about it. Where patients project feelings. But no, yes, it's projection. Okay, I call it projection. So let's just read it again. Can narcissists project their traits onto others? Can others pick up their traits by transference? The way it's constructed, I'm trying to understand the structure of your question. We don't pick up traits. We can spot them. Is that what you mean? We can see a narcissist, but we can't pick up the trait of someone else. Except, of course, if it's in a family dynamic. So let me try to understand. Can narcissists project their traits onto others? It's not that they project their traits onto others. If we have a parent that is narcissist and we grew up with them and we're affected by them, we'll be affected in such ways that some things will happen to us, and some of us may develop into narcissist as well. Can others pick up their traits via transference? So maybe that's what you mean. So because I was thinking about the group dynamics, adults, this is not possible. But within the configuration of a family, if you grew up in a family where some things are happening, we all develop in whichever way because of the people in our family. So in that way, in that situation, transference, projections, whichever way we call it, we will be affected by people as we grow up, yes. But within the configuration of a group, no. When people are narcissists, this is who they are. People don't become narcissists because they spend time with a narcissist. Is that what you meant? I think that's what you mean, right? This doesn't work like that. If we are a narcissist, it takes a lot for someone to become a narcissist. And again, it's all to do with their childhood. Can narcissists project their traits onto others? So no, we can't project our traits onto others, but we can affect and impact people so that they can develop in certain ways. And can others pick up their traits via transference? No. We don't pick up traits. We develop in ways, again, that are the result of exposure to them, but it's not like a direct exchange of energy and character and traits and personality. I hope that's what you meant. Did I understand your question and answer it well? Fendi Kit? Divna Rast, good. Sumant Sharma, hi. Kevin, I am procrastinating, but sometime today I will do yoga, hopefully. So anyway, okay, fantastic. If you are procrastinating, you know what? Lie down on the floor on the yoga mat. And this is a yoga position. It's called the corpse, I think. So lie down and think, you know what? I've started. Let's try to do something else now. Let's try to do another position. And so and get yourself into the groove. But realize that yoga is not something that you have to do. It can be as simple as you want it to be. It's about you being in a position that is different, that is better for whatever reason. So you don't have to necessarily do the whole course of whatever book or system you want to learn from the yoga. Just get started. And as you get started, now you won't be thinking about it. And so you'll be into that groove, and it will be easier for you to do all the other stuff that you want to do in that session of yoga. The problem when we're trying to do something and we're procrastinating is that we're thinking about it. When we think about it, we're creating resistance because there are some associations to do with that thought. So now the thought about it is preventing us from doing it. So there's a very simple protocol that we use that Mel Robbins made very popular, and it's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown protocol. Think about what you want to do, visualize yourself doing it, and then count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bang, do it, and just do it. As you think about it and as you do the countdown, you're creating a little momentum, and just do the first baby step. And eventually, as you've done that, you're not thinking about it, you're doing it. You can either do something or you can think about it. When we think about something, now we are frozen because the thought is connected to some subconscious, emotional, negative feelings that are holding us back. But if you just do it, then you create a momentum, but it makes everything easier. So try this. It's like that. My favorite motto from a sport brand is just do it. It is that simple. We suffer from our own faults. Uli, thank you. Meeting people one-on-one might be the solution. That's super helpful. Fantastic. Thank you, Uli. Yes, yes. We can't change a whole group of sheep. But if you take the sheep one by one away from the herd, now you may find out that they are very wise and very kind and very open-minded individually. One VT mum. I didn't realize the distinction between a therapist and a counselor. Sorry, it's all right, no worries. But to be honest with you, even the term therapist has different understanding depending on the country. And so, yeah. Fendi Kid. Sorry, I think I used transference in different way. It's all right. Well, did what I said work for you? Bird alert at SBR. There's a book called Life Saving Sleep. It's helping someone in my life who has suffered for over a decade. SBR. One-to-one, please. I am from Holland. What do you mean by one-to-one, please? You need some help from me. If anyone would like to work with me, there's a link on my bio to my website. So you can go there, explore it, read it, and see what happens. We can start from there. Fendi Kit, yes, that answers it. Fantastic. Chris Hilton, truly appreciate you. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Chris Hilton. Thank you. I'm going to stay here for another 10 minutes. We're coming close to the 8 o'clock curfew, but I'm happy to linger a bit longer if you have any more things you'd like me to talk about. It's gone quiet suddenly. I'm just going to wait. For those who are looking in the background, if you're not feeling ready to ask me anything, just do remember that I'm here every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. So do subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Your support is appreciated. And I put one new long form video every week on YouTube. Something that I can talk about. The one that I put out just today, because it's every Wednesday, is called What are Subconscious Projections and How Do They Impact Your Life? And on the thumbnail, you see me, my face, and it says, people are mirrors. We all project. And it's essentially explaining some simple and basic aspect of projections. And here in that video, I'm especially highlighting how everything that we dislike in others is always a projection of our own repressed shame and fears. And reversely, whatever people dislike in us is always a projection of their own repressed fears and shame. So if we can realize this, then we can understand so much more about ourselves and others, and that makes life much, much easier. So I would highly recommend you my new long form video of the week. Check it out on YouTube, please. And I hope that you can learn something from this. I hope that this can be useful to some of you. Chi Dong, how did you learn English to speak it so fluently? I've been living in London for nearly 29 years now. It was terrible when I first came here, I've got to say. But I had the time to learn. So yeah, the best way to learn a language is to be in a place where you use it. MG, true. Okay, thank you. We've got 5 more minutes. I like to stay up till 8 o'clock because, just because. just because I like to be precise. I always mention in my video that my live streams are from 6 to 8. So I feel like I have to stay for those last few minutes. So please, guys, ask me anything to make those last few minutes maybe more flowy. If not, I can read and comment on some of my own posts if you want. Maybe we've come to that time of the day, dinner time. There's a post that I put out this morning on TikTok and no one liked it. So I don't know if it's the algorithm who didn't show it, but it goes like this. But I really like it. And it goes like this. When you start focusing mindfully on the task, instead of thinking about it, it stops becoming a nuisance. So this is a principle of mindfulness, and it was really unpopular on TikTok for some reason, but I love it. It's really the idea that if we think that something is annoying, then it's a nuisance. But if we focus on doing that thing instead of thinking of it, now it becomes just a thing that we're doing. And it's something that we can all apply in our everyday life. It's to really realize that we create a lot of problems for ourselves because we are thinking about that thing instead of either observing it without judging it, or instead of doing something about it, doing it. There are two types of mindfulness. One is passive mindfulness. We observe through meditation, through mindfulness protocols. Or number two, active mindfulness. And what it means is that we are focused on the doing. We are totally, fully involved in that action, in that moment. So we are the flow, we are the doing. And so it's a different form of mindfulness. We're mindful of what we're doing. We can be mindful of what we observe, or we can be mindful of what we're doing instead of thinking about that thing. Hope it makes sense. Krim, can you sing Ziggy Marley, Believe in Yourself? It's a cheerful song. No, I can't because I don't know it. I don't know much about Ziggy Marley. I know that he's the son of Bob, so that's pretty much all I know. I saw the Wailers live a few years ago, so I don't know if Ziggy is in the band. I wouldn't think that he is. I think that it's his uncles and aunties that are. Jen Bunyaga, thank you for bringing your mindfulness. I'm working on that as a resolution for the 2026 year, okay? We can talk about it if you want, briefly. We've got 2 minutes left. Mindfulness can be many things. So there are also different systems, like protocols that you can apply. But really, mindfulness is also just a way to live your life. So it doesn't have to be this or that. It can be a little bit of this. You can try different things and see what works for you and try to expand your level of mindfulness, but it's essentially a different perspective of life. Instead of experiencing things as in me, I'm in the middle of everything, I'm the center of the world, it's happening to me. Being mindful is to just realize things are as they are, and I don't need to project my ego onto those things. We don't need to think and judge and analyze and try to understand. It's really about being present. Another simple way to explain mindfulness is that be present as opposed to be thinking about the past or the future. Anyway. Chi Jidong, are you from the UK? I live and I work, and this live stream is from London in the UK, indeed. Mimi Bigger, love your channel. Thank you so much, Mimi Bigger stuff. Jen Bunny Aqua, I noticed that action makes it impossible to feel helplessness. The right actions, yes, absolutely. If you are fully invested into an action, you are that action, so you don't think, so you don't feel helpless because you are doing something about it. Yes, absolutely. For people who suffer from money anxiety, for instance, the best thing to do to address that is to take the actions that they can in order to create abundance in their life and accept that their best is good enough. So as long as they're taking all the actions that they need to take in order to create abundance in their life, there is no suffer about money anxiety anymore. because they will be either invested in doing those things, or they will feel satisfied. I've done my best. Now I can sleep and get ready for the next day, and I do it again until I invite abundance in my life. It's the same thing with health. If you have health anxiety, instead of thinking about it, do some work, research, read up, find out all the alternative stuff. You're doing something about it, right? Whatever type of anxiety that we have, if we can focus on doing something that is going to help with that, in that moment, we're already addressing the anxiety itself. Hi, Vitimum. I really appreciate your short videos, which give opportunity to think about it for later. It helps keep it at the front of the mind. Thank you. Thank you. Some of my next short videos will be a little bit longer because I've decided this year to give a little bit more value rather than just snap, 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 very short videos. So some of them are going to be 30 seconds, 50, 60 seconds, maybe, that sort of range. So I'm curious as to see how it's going to pan out in regards to how it's going to be received by people on YouTube and TikTok. Sweet piano. I love that your voice reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. Right, okay. I take it as a compliment. I like it. I'm happy with that. SBR. My ex is a narcissist and turning my children against me. And I had a head injury. I feel overwhelmed with headaches, dizziness, and nausea. And I need help to get better and cope with stress. Okay. Every morning I feel like a zombie. Send me a message if you want, and we can organize a free discovery call sometime. If not, do come back to those lives, and I will be always happy to talk about those things with you and listen to you, and give you some recommendations if I have any. SBR, every morning I feel like a zombie. So I read that already. CC Crusader. Nice. I was the guy that messaged you on Instagram with the tip for longer videos. I agree, your voice is very chill. Okay, I don't remember this, but thank you. I don't remember everything, but thank you. I'm glad that somehow it's all going in the same direction. Jen Bunny Aqua, Winnie the Pooh too. I love Winnie the Pooh too. Okay, thank you. I'm happy with that. Better than what's the name? Ewan, the depressed donkey. I'm glad that I don't remind you of that character. SBR, can I get better and work at the same time? I need to be financially strong to get my children back. You can only do what you can do. So it's possible. I don't know if you can or not. Or maybe it's possible. It will be possible at some point. What matters is that you do what you can do now. And then pay attention to your body. Listen to how you feel. And do whatever you can. Everything is possible. But nothing is guaranteed. And so, I don't know. It's possible for you to do everything. But if it's too much, at least do something. Something is still something. Yeah. And realize that whatever that you do now, if you're doing what you can, the rest will follow at some point. We need to accept that more often than not, we can't have everything that we want right around now just because we want it. So we need to be patient, we need to work on what we can, and eventually things will get better. But if we look at the state of things and we're like, I want it right around now, it's not there yet, why? Now we're going to make it harder on ourselves. Pumpkin Puff, thank you again, Didi. I will work on what we talked about today and hope to see you Friday. I hope you have a good evening. Thank you so much. And guys, before I go, I need you to know that also all the live streams that I do are to be found on my channel once they are fully uploaded by YouTube sometime the next day. Right. So if you heard anything today that was interesting and you want to replay it, the video, this live will be available at some point, I think tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon on my channel. It takes a lot of time for YouTube to fully upload a live stream, but I leave all of my live streams to be found on my channel. Sea Crusader, have you ever dived into visualization, like from the book Psycho-Cybernetics from Maxwell Morse, I believe? Yes. Visualization is a big part of many protocols that we use for healing or for meditation. Visualization is a very important part of understanding how to use our brain for anything at all. Our brain, except for those who have aphantasia, our brain works with visual. So this is how we communicate to our subconscious mind. This is how we do a lot of inner work as well. So yes, visualization is very, very powerful, and it can be used in many, many different ways. Psychocybernetics. It's a very old book. I read it a while ago, but yes, it's a quite important book. Hai Chi Jidong. I think money can solve 99% of problems. It's true that it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Absolutely. Absolutely. As I said before, people don't realize that the number one reason, directly or indirectly, of all mental and emotional problems is poverty, scarcity, money pressure. Sidesh, bro is mysterious and sophisticated, very well spoken. Is it me, bro? Bro, thank you. Sea Crusader, I agree. Okay. SBR, can I have your link? What link are we talking about? The link to my website. It's on my bio. If you go on my bio on YouTube, you will have a link to my website somewhere, or on my videos as well. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go now. It's past 8 o'clock now. I'll be back Friday, so do come back if you want to continue that conversation. If you know anyone who could benefit from that, get them involved. Please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate your support. And do watch my long form video as well. I put one long video every week. And the one I put out today, this week, is about subconscious projections. So I know it doesn't sound very exciting, but it's actually a very, very insightful aspect of psychology that can change everyone's perspective on selves and others. It's very, very powerful. And so do check it out. Let me know how you think about it. And hopefully I see you Friday from 6 o'clock or sometime next week. Okay. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Bye for now. I'll be watching that video. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.